Welcome to another episode of our trio, and today I'm talking about Donald Trump. Should he be impeached? Gun control and Prince. Our trio. Let's go. Donald Trump. Should he be impeached? Today, I'm not even going to tell you my opinion on it. Today on the show, I'm going to give you the opinion of Ken White, a black Republican, a former police officer, and a United States veteran. He have a different view on it than I do, but I still believe in freedom of speech, so let's hear him out.
Hello everybody, it's my privilege to introduce to you, all the way from the south side of Chicago, the man, the myth, the legend, my Theo, your brother, the Southside Unicorn.
Hey everybody, Ken White here. I want to thank our trio for reaching out and asking my opinion on whether President Donald J. Trump should be impeached. The short answer is no. Now let me answer it this way, or at least explain my answer as to why it's no. I was born on the south side of Chicago. All we ever wanted was justice for black people. We've seen injustice all over the place, and we are the first-hand recipients of it. There was a little joke going around in Chicago back in the day that said, we went around looking for just us, and when we went to the police station, that's all we saw was just us. That's right. Because you got to understand, if we let what's happening to President Donald J. Trump go down, we're making it harder on ourselves down the road. But I got a few greats with me right now who can explain it much better than I can. And if you want to hear more of it, you'll just have to check out my show after you listen to our trio. So here are the three greats that I would like to have explain my answer of why it's no, do not impeach President Donald J. Trump.
The whites were evenly divided. It was the fact that you threw 80% of your votes behind the Democrats that put the Democrats in the White House. When you see this, you can see that the Negro vote is the key factor. And despite the fact that you are in a position to be the determining factor, what do you get out of it? The Democrats have been in Washington, D.C. only because of the Negro vote. They've been down there 4 years. And all other legislation they wanted to bring up, they brought it up and gotten it out of the way, and now they bring up you. And now they bring up you. You put them first and they put you last. Because you're a chump.
That was the great Malcolm X, and that was made back in the 1960s. Now, bear in mind, there's been well over 50 years since that recording was made, but it may as well have been made yesterday because of Mayor Bloomberg. Here Bloomberg is with, stop and frisk, and now he's coming out with, my bad, I'm sorry, please forgive me, let me get up in a black church and see if I can't get some of them black votes after every 4 years. How do you know the election season is coming up? Because every 4 years, some white person is inside a black church begging for votes. Now look at here. It's time out for that. We got to do something new, okay? President Donald J. Trump is that new because he's not telling us about handouts. He's trying to give us hand up, and he's talking to us like we're men and women with brains inside our head. Sometimes the truth might sound rough, but it's the truth. Take a listen for yourself.
No group in America has been more harmed by Hillary Clinton's policies than African Americans. No group. If Hillary Clinton's goal was to inflict pain on the African American community, she could not have done a better job. It's a disgrace. Look, what do you have to lose? You're living in poverty. Your schools are no good. You have no jobs. 58% of your youth is unemployed. What the hell do you have to lose?
That was President Donald J. Trump, and he told the truth. What the hell did we have to lose? 60 years of getting banged up, beat up by the Democrat Party, and we're sitting there wondering on whether we need to impeach Donald J. Trump, the man that has increased employment for African Americans to a level that has never been seen since slavery? Come on now, you got to understand why they want him out the way. It would be the same as the Joker, the Riddler, Catwoman, and all the rest of them saying, we got to get rid of Batman. Why do you want to get rid of Batman? So you can run Gotham City, that's why. And let me just remind you, Once you start letting injustice go down the road, it gets real bad for everybody. Who in their right mind would want Adam Schiff being a judge over them? You've seen the cheating that he's doing. Nobody wants that. When you stand in front of a judge or a justice, whether they like you or hate your guts, you need to know that you're getting justice, and take it from a man who knows better than I do.
Justice is indivisible. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
And that was the great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I want to thank our trio for giving me a chance to respond. I hope I didn't go over too much, but this was Ken White, host of the Southside Unicorn Show.
So, say you got a couple 100,000 off the streets. I mean, isn't that just a drop in the bucket?
Well, what we'll do is have an incentive for people to turn them in and buy them back. But when we're talking about weapons of war, I mean, it literally is this simple. 5 million assault weapons on the streets of America, period.
Gun control. If you know me, I'm a strong believer in the Second Amendment. I don't believe in the gun buyback programs. I don't think it's gonna work. I think we need to get to the root of the problem. It's a problem with all these mass shooting and people shooting up stuff. The problem is it's a mental problem. What's pushing them to the breaking point to commit such a crime like that? Cause we get rid of the guns, what we gonna be dealing with next? Mass stabbings, people going around stabbing people, or people making homemade bombs and blowing people up? Getting rid of the guns is not the solution to the problem. It's just a band-aid on the wound. Let's address the source of the problem. And even with the gun buyback program, the people who are doing mass shooting is criminals. Or maybe they not criminals, they committing criminals acts. So why would they sell back their gun? If you a criminal, why would you sell back your gun? So it's just gonna be the good citizens getting rid of their guns while the criminals and the police still have their guns. So what would that solve? I believe in the right to bear arms. Prince Rodger Nelson. If you know me, I love people who speak their mind and stand up for something. Just share with y'all a side of Prince y'all might didn't know. Prince stood up for himself. He wasn't afraid to fight the record companies. He owned all his masters, and he fought to get the rights to his music. And on top of that, he was a woke man.
I pulled a Nori move. I said, yo, look, man. Yo, look, man, you know, let's do this. Let's do this song. And he was like, you know, do you own your masters?
Oh, no way.
Yes.
That's his answer?
But he blew my shit, because I was like, I don't. And I'm far from it, because I owe this label about 4 or 5 albums. So I was like, damn.
He dropped a jewel on you, right?
Dropped a jewel. He kind of helped me see the future.
Right.
And he was like, when you own your masters, give me a ring.
Because everybody thought he was crazy. The way he was doing it with his masters, they thought he was crazy.
Always think you crazy
in the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, that
something.
deserve a slow clap, not a slow clap.
Dreamer first. Tell me about Dreamer.
Oh, well, when I saw the State of the Black Union, Dick Gregory really moved me and a lot of my friends. I show it to everybody that comes over the house, especially white folks, because they need to hear that, you know, so that they know more about all of us. Mm-hmm. Because what he said affects all of us. He said something that really hit home about this phenomena of chemtrails. And, you know, when I was a kid, I used to see these trails in the sky all the time, and say, oh, that's cool. A jet just went over. And then you started to see a whole bunch of them. And the next thing you know, everybody in your neighborhood was fighting and arguing, and you didn't know why. Okay? And you really didn't know why. I mean, everybody was fighting. So he started riffing about the chemtrails, and he started to say things that hit home so hard. And I would recommend that everybody try to get what he said online or wherever, and try to get a copy of it and just listen to it. Because I was so moved that I had to write the song. The other thing is the first line of the song says I was born on the same plantation in the United States of the red, white, and blue. And we live in a place now that feels just about like a plantation. We're all indentured servants. You know, when I found out there were 8 presidents before George Washington, I wanted to smack somebody. You know, I wanted to know why I was taught otherwise. Just tell me the whole story. I'll fill in the blanks, but don't tell me something that you think I'm supposed to know.
We're indentured servants and we got a black president now?